FMtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter. Hello, Nick. How you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing good, thank you.
Good. I'm glad to hear that. If you'd like to support the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. We have a FM train. If you go to FMtraining.tv live, you can scroll down. You see these options. These bundles basically give you access to a lot of our video content. Well, it gives access, well, yeah, depending on what you buy, you either get all the video content or the majority of the video content. We have highly animated training videos that cover pretty much everything you need to know about FileMaker to go from beginner to a very competent intermediate developer. So feel free to pick those up. Helps keeps the lights on, helps keeps us able to talk about all the random topics that we cover in live stream for free. So I think I'm good. I'm thinking about like today. If I covered everything, yeah, I think I'm good. We've covered everything. So, Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining today. So what we do today, we continue this series that will last 4 weeks in total. I added a week because I have so many things to tell you about design and because we just get started, almost. But I want to show you guys all the object we can build, the components and stuff like that we can build and then use them to organize a layout, because those are like the cabinetry in the kitchen, right? So that's why we need to organize, we need to have objects to organize the layout, right? So, but we can't, out of the box with FileMaker, we don't have a lot of objects, right? We have few objects, and that is not enough to organize layout, right? So when we use the out of the box object, we have, like the slide, the tab, the button bar, buttons, polls, and we have the popovers, right? So all of those objects are good, but unfortunately they're not enough to build all what we need, right? So we can use some of the out-of-the-box object we have and then combine them together, and then boom, we build a new thing. So today we are going to continue fixing those slide control here, tab control with a slide, right? To replace those, who doesn't look good at all, right? And I want to finish this and wrap up this and switch to another object that is similar but with a different behavior. Okay, so let's continue this. So here, the slide control, we have something unique in this object, which we call animation. So what is an animation? When you have the dots of the slide, right, you can, if you click here, you have a slide animation, right? If I go to the right, it slide like this, see? Slide, 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 slide. But unfortunately, that happened when we use the dots, when we use the control attached to the slide, right? Or if we do with the gesture, with this, when you slide on the trackpad or a mouse that have a like a tactile, surface, touch surface. So, but if you use a go to objects, right? Unfortunately, you don't have, when I click here, I say go to object. When I do this, we don't have the animation, right? So pretty much when you control the objects from a go to objects script step, you don't have this animation. But we can make it happen. So let's remove those dots and show you how we do, right? Here I have a script. This is a script that go to the object. So I mean, sorry, in this object, sorry, in this object here, I don't have a script. I have a go to object script step directly. This is not a script, right? It is not. And so I made it to make it simpler for you to discover how this works, right? But this is not comfortable because each time you need to go there, let's say you have a new tab like this, right? So each time you need to go there, single script step, and say set field, no, go to object, sorry, go to object, and then put the name of the object, right? Pretty much. That's what you need to do in each single button. So this is a tab one, right? So if you go there, you say you need to do again, set single script step, go to objects, put the name of the object, right? Validate this, tab two, and then go to the third, do it again, go to, so it's not comfortable, and then say tab three, right? And then, right? So it's it's not practical, let's say. Okay. So instead of doing this, it's better to use a script. In the same time, I can add something into the script that will help me make the word process better. Instead of here getting the go to object, right? Well, I'm using a script. So let's build a script, right? So let's call it 002, right? And this is go to tab, okay? This is go to tab. So what the go to tab will do, right? It will say go to objects, okay? And the object name, I'm going to take it from the script parameters. So now if I go there and I say, okay, I replace this with a script, right?
Hey, Nick.
Yes. Yes. Oh, I'm not sharing my screen.
No, sorry.
Oh, oh,
I
oh,
had
oh, oh.
someone DMing me about issues with other things, and I did not see that.
Oh, okay. Sorry for that. Okay.
Back up.
So
Just back up completely to where you
yeah,
started.
I'm backing up, backing up. So I'm backing up. Okay. So here in this object, I was using a single script step, a single script step for each button here. But this is not good. This is not practical. And I'll show you why. This is a button bar. And for each object, I need to say, for each button here, I need to say, a single script step, go to object, put the name of the object where I want to go, right? Then I go to this one, single script step, go to object, and then put here the name of the object I want to go and the title, right? Then here, single script step, go to object, tab three, right? So you need to do that again and again and again, right? So that works, right? That works, right? That works, but it's not practical at all. Instead, we create a script we name go to tab. And in this script, the name of the object, so I have a go to object script step here, and the name of the object, I'm going to send it to from the parameter, right? So how it works. I have this object, instead of the single script step, I say perform scripts, right? I select this and I say tab one. Here, perform script tab two. Here, perform script. See how it's faster, it's better, right? It's not fastidious as opening something and then opening something and then type go to object and then put the name of the object. You don't do that. You use the parameters, right? And of course, if you want to duplicate this, Well, it's ready. You just have to say which tab you want to go. You don't need to go to the script step. You don't need to go there and go there and go there and change the name. You understand? So there's much more steps doing this, right? Right? So using the scripts instead of the go-to objects here, it's much more practical. So let's change those, all of them, right? So this one go to the 2.1, okay. So let's change them all of them. So here, and I'm going to tab 2.1, and here, scripts 2.2, and here, scripts. See, it's much faster because there's only one window to open. You understand? Right? So it's much more efficient to use a script and send the object that you want to go through the parameter. It's much faster. Yeah, I just demonstrate to you. But now with this, and now everything works like it should do, right? It's the same because instead of having a single script step go to object, I have a script with a go to object inside. But I would love to have this nice slide effect, you know. I want this slide effect, you know, this animation. I want this, right? So how I get it? Remember, I have a script now, right? So I can do set layout object animation. And I put that on before to go to the objects. Well, now I have the effects because I put that in the scripts. I put it on. If I put off, I don't have it. If I put on, I have it. So now, design-wise, it's not good to have this slide effect on all the slides. It's not good. It's not a good practice, right? So I will explain you how to manage those animations. Obviously, the main navigation in that layout, the main navigation is this one. This is the main animation, right? Correct? This is the primary navigation in that layout, right? And then I have a secondary and another one here. So I want the effects to take place only on this main master primary navigation, but not happening here. I don't want that to happen. It's too much. When you have a lot of things, it's too much. It's too heavy for the eyes. It's tiresome. This has a sense because you move from one world to another. Here, well, it's secondary. You don't need it. Technically, design-wise, it's good practice. But here, how I can deactivate this, right? Well, this is how you do. First, you set a variable and you collect in this variable, you collect the parameters. Okay. So here in this variable, I'm going to collect the parameters. And then, right? So what I'm showing you right now, it's good practice to do this. Okay. What I'm doing right now, I said, and I have another variable. This is good practice. And you should use this for all your scripts. This is a small script. It's not really necessary on small script, but when you have a bigger script, what I'm showing you is good practices. Here, I say animation, I have two variables. I have object and animation, two variables. The object is the first parameter. So, right? I have this parameter variable, and then I'm taking the first. This is the name of the object where I want to go, right? And this is the animation. If I want the animation or no, that's the second one, right? Because in here, in the parameter, I'm going to say if I want the animation or not, correct? So here, I'm sending two parameters. So I'm creating a list, right? And I said, so you can do whatever. What normally what I'm doing here, I'm putting one here or true. That means I want the animation on this one, right? So on all the buttons here, I'm going to do this true, 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 right? Back to the script. So here I have the name of the object, tab 2 or tab 1. And here I have if I have animation or not. So now I said if animation, I want this. That's it. If this said true, this will say yes. That means, yeah, do this. If it will say do this and then set this. Otherwise, go straight to the object. So you will say, okay, Nick, why are you doing this? Why are you doing those free variables? Well, when you have a more complex script and you have more parameters, right? This is good practice. Why? Because when you debug, well, you know everything that happened. You have your parameters, tab and one. One is true. False is 0. Okay. And then you have the object name and if you have animation or not. You can see all what happened here, right? So then I said, yes, I want the animation and then go to the object. So now, boom, 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 boom. I have the animation here, but here I don't. Why? Because here I didn't even bother put if I want animation or not, right? I didn't even bother to put this, the true, because I don't need. So here what happened. If I'm here and I said script debugger and I click here, right? Here, the animation, I don't have it. So for FileMaker, by default, that will be false. It will skip this. By default, in a script, if you say go to object and this goes to an object with an animation, the animation is by default is off. It's turned off. I will have the animation only if in the script I'm setting the layout object animation on. But since this didn't happen, because the animation is not, this variable is not there, then I don't have the animation. So I have animation here, but not here, right? So now I have a programmatic customized script that does everything I want. So one script go to multiple object, multiple slides, right? And I can control if I want the animation or not. Other question? So
Yes.
yeah, before we go, you notice the coding that I'm using here. So it's important that you understand FileMaker, and I said that multiple times in my webinar, but here I don't know to do. I don't need to do that. I don't need to say if our animation equal equal one. Then say true, otherwise false. I don't need to do that. I don't need. FileMaker, right, has is primary language is 1 0 for all the computer in the world, not the quantum computer, but the regular computer, the one we use, right? We use bits. Bits is 1 0. Quantum computer use qubits, right? Can be 0 and 1 at the same time. But regular computer, the computer we use, the main language is 1 0. Well, and FileMaker has no exception with this. So the if step will take place if the result of the calc here returns true. Let me explain. If I say 1 plus 1, it returns 2, correct? But if I say to FileMaker 1 plus 1 equal 2, it will say, yeah, this is true. This is true. 1 plus 1 equal 2 is true. But if I say 1 plus 1 equal 3, if we say, no, this is not true. So by default, FileMaker will return true or false, 1 or 0, based on what you ask him, You understand? So this is how the if works, the if. If the results of the calc return true, right, then it will go through the if. If this returns false, right, it will return, it won't do it. So FileMaker has a way, multiple way to get to get false or not. If I use the is valid and I say 0, it will say, no, not the is valid. How I can say that? Is valid expression, I think. Okay. Yeah. Okay. How I can show you okay, so if it's empty, if it's empty, that will be false. It will be false, right? So if I put here nothing, this won't work, right? Or if I put this, that won't work. If I go there and I put empty, it passes. Because for FileMaker, this is false. Okay? If it's empty. So if I put animation here, the variable here, and if this variable doesn't exist, that means for him is the same as this, right? This is how it works. So I don't need to put, if I say true here, and this will work. But if I say nothing, none, I have no animation variable, that will be false for him. You understand? So I don't need to say if is empty, I don't need that. The true false here will do it automatically. So go ahead for the question.
We have a couple. So I'm going to ask the first one, is there a way to get the total count of slides a control panel has?
No.
Okay. Uh,
For what a question? Why you need this?
they're on YouTube, so I don't know when they'll respond to that.
Okay, so
The
yeah.
next question is it possible to get the name of a label or button programmatically, so you don't have to type in the script parameter manually for each button?
No, I mean, we need we need a go to objects, and the object need to be named. So I cannot say go to the slide one. I need to say go to a name of an object. Go to objects, rely on the name, not on the number of the slide. You understand? So I need to go to the object name. This need to be a name of the object. And I can't programmatically pull the name and that of the slides. I can't. I have no possibility to do that. I have no possibility to get all the names of the slide here. I have no way to do that. So you need to know by heart the name you have here. That's why I'm using this technique, or here, because you have all the name here, see?
They're saying they're not talking about the destination object, they're talking about the source object.
Source object. This one? Okay, so I don't really get the source objects. Why you need to know the source objects? Here it doesn't, we don't care about the source objects. I mean, in that case, I need to know where I go. But where I am, I don't care.
The object name of the button clicked.
Oh, the object name here?
Yes. Can you get that programmatically?
No. And that's what I was saying yesterday. I wish, the last 5 minutes I was talking to Claris, give me this. Give me the get active segment number or name, whatever. Attribute. I don't get that. I don't have this.
Got it. We
I
have
can
another. Go
yeah.
ahead, sorry.
Yeah, go.
Another question is, it handles the strings differently in the if context, right? So if you do if, parentheses, variable string.
Yeah. This here?
I think so. Jesse's typing.
Yes.
To check if the string is empty or not. So
We don't need. If the string is empty, it's false by definition. If I look, um, if if animation is empty, that means the variable is not existing, right? Here, for example, let me go. Here, for example, if I do this, animation doesn't exist. I don't have the animation. By default, the if will interpret this as not valid. So we don't need to tell if is empty animate. We don't need. I mean, it's not necessary because FileMaker will understand its primary language, which is 0, 1, true, false. 0 or empty for FileMaker is false. So if this is empty, FileMaker say, okay, it's false for me. If it's not empty and the content of this is 1 or true, then it will do it, right? So if I go there, here I have the animation, which is 1, which is true, then go for it. Go. It does it, right? So that is a coding. It's a coding style. That's how we call that. That makes everything simpler because I don't need to say, like this. If is empty this, then false or 0, otherwise 1. I don't need that. It's totally unnecessary. Doing this will do the same job because FileMaker will say, okay, that empty, that means false. Okay, that one, that means true. So I don't need to know if that is empty or not. So that's cool because, it simplifies the code. If animation, do it. And is easy to read. If animation, and then object, right?
Yeah, because it's a variable. I ran into an issue when checking if a text field was empty or not using an if statement. I think that's where I went wrong.
A text field is different. I mean, no, it's the same. It's the same because if you pull a text, okay, if you want to know, so let me think about what you want to do, right? So you have a field and you want to know if this field is empty, right? And then to do something, if it's empty or not. In that case, yes, you need to say if it's empty or not, because this here, in that case, I'm saying one directly. This is the only information I'm going to tell FileMaker, 1, 1, 0. But if you put something in a text, in a field like this, right? If you have nothing in a field, right? By default, FileMaker will say, and it will say false, okay? But if you put something here, it won't return true, right? You need to transform that in true, right? You understand? For example, if you want to say, if it's not empty, true, right? If it's empty, false, right? You understand? So yeah, I need more information about what you want to say here.
100. So okay. I think I'm gonna let Jessie finish typing, but I think that I'm getting the impression that her question has been answered. I understand it's just a general question. We good. Excellent. Thank you.
Okay.
There's another. We have more questions still. So,
Okay. Go ahead.
the one I'm gonna back up.
The what?
Okay. Sorry. I'm processing information. Jerry asked an earlier question, which I didn't get because I bounced, I think, down to Jessie's, which is, do you ever have to turn animation off? And then there's another animation question when you answer that one.
No. Okay. So that's what I was saying. By default, if I go to an object that own an animation like a slide, right? If I don't have this, by default it's off. It's on only if I turn it on. It's the same as set error capture, right? This, set error capture. If you don't have it, it's off by default. If you want it, you need to turn on. It's the same, like the abort, allow abort, user abort is off by default on the script. But if you want it on, you need to turn it on, right? It's the same for this, right? By default, if you don't have this, right, it's off. So that's why you don't need to turn it off. If you don't want it, don't turn it on. You understand? If you don't want it. If you don't want it, don't turn it on. That's what I'm doing here. If I don't want it, this won't happen. So it won't be there. If I want it, I turn on. And when the script's gone, each time you reinitiate the script, it turns off by default. At that point is off, off, off. Is that happen? Is on. And then if I turn it on, everything below will depend on this. So if I want to turn it on for this one, and then later I want to turn it off and go to another object with, I need to do this, right? If I turn it on, it will be on for everything below this, right? It's the same as set error capture, allow abort, that's the same thing.
Got it. A follow-up question from Lynn. Does turning
Mhm.
animation on persist during the script? What about when the script ends?
It's gone. The next time you open the script, you need to set it on again if you want it. It turn on. This works for the duration of the current script. When the script's gone, poof. Next script, for all the script after that, it will be off by default, and you need to turn it on for the script. That is only for the duration of the current running script.
This kind of got answered in the conversation, but I will ask it anyway. You're missing the part about what if the value of the animation, variable animation is A, B, C, D.
Yeah, but that's different. If it's A, B, C, D, well, you need to define what A and what B and what C is, right?
I think it's a question about how it evaluate.
Yeah. So yeah, I can do a webinar. Can you note it? Can you note this? And we
Yes.
do our yeah. Then we do another webinar on this, because this is different. This is a how to evaluate, how to get. I got a point here. Where the people. There's many ways we can do that, right? To evaluate, to get something here, right? So I'll show you. I'll do a webinar for that, a dedicated webinar.
Okay,
So are
cool.
we okay?
We
Are we
are.
okay?
Well,
Okay.
actually, no, never mind. Sorry, YouTube got back to me. So, uh, is there a way to get a total count of slides a control panel has? I have made a navigation through panels saying 1 out of 5, 2 out of 5, and so on. I name the panels with the number at the end, and then total I get with a max. But I don't know if there's a better way.
No, there's not a better way for that. If you want to know how many slides you have, but why you need that to in the first place? Because you cannot add a slide programmatically. It's hard coded in the layout mode, so you know how many slides you have. So why you need to know that? So I'm interested on why you need to know that. So while the person will answer, can I go? Can I move on?
You are, in fact, good to move on.
Okay. So put that slide here. Next object I want to build with you. Okay. Something we call accordion. Okay. Accordion, they are a type of slides, interesting, and they are very useful. Okay. And what is that? What is accordion? In FileMaker application, we have only one place where you have accordion. Is here. This is an accordion. This. See? Slide, styles, data source, style, chart, data source, chart, style, chart, data source. This is an accordion. So it's kind of a slide. It's like it's a tab, but vertical with embedded tab. The tab is embedded into the slides, into the panels, right? So instead of having a chart, style, and data source like this, like here, right? See, this is exactly what I built here, right? This is the same. This, right? With
Mm-hmm.
this style, right? With the tab style, this, with the color, blue color underneath. This is the same here and here, right? But The accordion is different, right? And the control, the tab, is embedded into the panel, right? It's embedded into the panel. So we have other accordion here. This is an accordion, 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 right? This accordion, right? But this accordion like this, that grow, we grow like this, right? This, I can't build it. We can't build it this way. We can build the collapsible accordion like this, top to bottom, right? Bottom, top, bottom, top, right? But this type here, we can't make it. The sliding, pushing, and pulling, we can make it. But this also is an accordion. I wish we could do that, but unfortunately we cannot. But we can do this one, right? The one that is going to, up and down. And hold on. So this one we can. So how to build this object? This object is extremely practical. So something that will look like this, right? So how to build this? So I built one for training, but I'm not going to use it. I'm going to I want to make sure that I remember the values here is 1, 1, 10, 6, 2. Okay. Okay. How to build this object? First, you need the base. The base is a slide control. We draw a slide control. Okay. Then I'm going to make it with 4 tabs. I have 4 tabs. I'll remove this and I'll remove this. So this is my slide control, right? And I'm going to call that slide 1. So each slide need to have a name. So I'm going to use the same pattern with the slide number, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 on my slide control. 1, 2, 3, 4. I want this slide to look beautiful. So I'm going to make it with 5 radius corner, right? And an outer shadow. 1, 1, 10, 6, 2. Don't panic. You don't see the corner here. That's normal. But it need to be set up like this. When you set up a slide control, you have multiple components into the slide control, right? Each object has the same thing, like buttons, we have the button and the icon, and the slide and the button bar, we have the button bar, the divider, the segment. Okay, so each object, we have components where we can put styles. So the slide control itself, which is this object, okay, I set it like this. And then I can control the panel. And also the panel, I want to put it 5. So now, I have my corner radius. Okay? Rounded like I want. And with my shadow, right? Nice and clean. And this is a slide control, right? So I have one object, right? My shadow, my radius, beautiful. Then we need to build buttons. So I want to build now those things. I took care of building the wall objects, right? Now I'm going to build the button, right? Well, so it's a regular button, right? And I call it tab 1. And I want an icon on the right. And the icon for the first, right, for my button is this. So here's the catch. So now I'm going to put this button inside the first control, right? But this doesn't look good. So here, how we can play with this using these guys, the alignment. If I do this, this what happened. See? So if I say align to the left, then the text is aligned to the left and the icon is aligned to the right. This is the behavior. Center, right, or justified. I use the align to the left. Okay? And then I said I want 10 padding here and 10 padding here because I don't want the icon to be glued to the border. That doesn't look great. And I don't want to do something like this. This is bad design. No, I want the button to fit the complete width of the object. And here inside, I'm putting a padding of 10. Right? Looks good. Correct? Now I have my button and I want this here, right? I want a border on the bottom. Correct? This is tab 1. And now, so pretty much I build this, right? So this is tab 1, and I want to do tab 2, tab 3, tab 4 on the bottom. So I'm going to do this, right? But here I want the top to be the border. So that would be tab 4. That would be tab 5, tab 3, and that would be tab 2, right? Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, tab 4. But the tab 1, right? So, so now that I have this, so this is the first tab. The second one, I have nothing. That the first tab, right? So now what I need to do, now that I have all my button built, right? They're all built, correct? Right? I want to put, I use the same script, by the way, go to tab, that's the same script of the slab control, right? And I said I want to go to the tab 1, right? So, sorry, to go to the slide 1. Remember? Yeah, I should have named this slide 1 because otherwise it's confusing. Right? So slide 1, slide 2, slide 3, slide 4. So the first button here, right? The first, go to slide 1. The second, you guessed it, I go to slide 2. This one, go to slide 3. And this one, you guessed it, go to slide 4. So now I have my buttons built. I have my object built, and I have my button built. So let's do something now. I'm going to duplicate all of those things outside. I duplicate them, right? And now I can build my stuff. This is the first tab, right? And this is the head of an open showing tab. So I don't want that, right? And the icon here is a cross. I'll show you later why. Okay. Now I'm going to the second slide. And what I'm doing, I duplicate this and I'm putting that here. I duplicate this and I'm putting that here. And then I'm duplicating those two and I'm putting that here. Right? So now, this is slide 1. This is a slide 2, which is an open slide. I'm showing the slide 2. I'm in the second one. So this one has the cross. Now, I go to the third. I duplicate this, I'm putting here. Putting this, putting here. And I'm putting this and I'm putting here. Right? So this one, the bottom, and this one, have none. This is the third open slide, and I have my fourth on the bottom here, waiting. This is the open one. So I put it, so now this is how it looks. Look. Tuk, 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 tuk. Correct? So now I'm going to do the fourth one. One here, and all of those here. Right? So this one here, this one here, and here, this one here, and here, and this one none. And this is the one open. The fourth one, I have the cross. So now this is how it looks. First, second, third, fourth. And now I need a fifth one. The fifth one will show all of them closed on top. So this one is the first, showing the first panel open. This one is the second panel open. This one is the third, the fourth, and the fifth, they're all closed. So let's see how this works. This is the first panel, second, third, fourth. Second, third, fourth. So now you're going to tell me, yeah, Nick, but why do you have a fifth panel? This is why. This one is the head of the current showing panel. When I click on it, I want it to go to the slide 5. All the one that has a cross, I want them to go to the slide 5. Why? Slide 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Oh, I did a mistake here. Oh, yeah, maybe I did a mistake here. This one I want to go to the 5. And this one I want to go to the 5. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, I want to go to 5. Oh, I didn't put the name, sorry. I need to put the name here. Slide 5. Okay. If I click here, I close. Open, close, open, close, open, close. If I go there, close, close, open, close. If I go to the 4th and I click here, I close it. That's why this is the icon X. You close it. Right? So now we can, uh, you know, fix some issues that I have here because I changed the E9 here and I want to change for all of them. This color here, but I can do that later. When I will give you the objects, when I will give you the, so this is how it looks, right? And this is how it behaves. So this is cool, right? And then after that, we go to the question because, right, we can do, let's say we can put some fields, right? So put some field here, right? And then you have other fields on the second one, right? Oops. Ah, so you can other field here, right? And other field here. So you can put whatever you want. So you have a lot of tabs in a vertical manner, right? Like this. See? So that allows you one spot like this to show many things, right? Without to be like with a tab on top. Why I am using this? Show you. Because slide 1 is small, it's a small title, but let's say that the general info, right? And let's say this one is communication, and this one is addresses, and this one is other relevant info, right? Those are very wide names. If you put a tab, right, like this one here, or this one, right? Let's say you have something like this, and you want to do the same thing, even if you remove, and here you say general info, and here you say communication, and you add and you say addresses, and then you say other relevant info. Well, you have something like this. Right? And you don't even have the space enough. You need to make it like this, right? It's way too big. It's way too big. A half of the screen. Here on the title, you can put whatever you want until here, right? So now you just need to spread the same thing here. So it's not a big deal, you know, like this, right? Like this, right? And then you do the same here with the communication. you copy, you go, communication, you go, communication, you go, communication, you go, you know. So also I have an advanced way to pull the name on this. You know, so here, here, and here, you know, and here, all the relevant. Okay, all the relevant. Okay, all the relevant. Yep. Here, and the fifth. Right? So now you have this, 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 and you don't have this huge, it's embedded in the object. So you have a small object with multiple tab embedded and it looks super good. Right? So you have this type of object, right? And this type of objects. See, now we have complete new component layout components that we can use to organize data, not just tabs, like, you know, because what do we have out of the box? We have the tab, the slide, and popover maybe, right? But that's it, correct? Right?
Mm-hmm. People are
So
saying,
it's cool.
so fancy. I'm so doing this. This is so cool.
Yeah, it's cool because, you know, most of you can imagine, for example, a contact layout, for example. You know, you have a first name, last name, blah blah blah. Then you have communication for, you know, a phones. I don't know if you are in the 1980s, you can put a fax or an email or whatever website, and then you have multiple addresses. You can have home address, work address, whatever, and then whatever you want to put here, right? So, and then, but the first, you keep open the first. So the default is the one you want on this one. This is this is open. When you land on the layout, this will be the one open. But you can close it, you know, or you can land on the. You can make the this one to be the default or close. You know, sometime maybe that, you know, something you want all close, right? So, and then you select the one, you know. So if you want to change the defaults, because I put the 5, the last. The default is the first. When you land on the layout, this will be the one you show. Here you put the dots, you go to the fifth, you click on the fifth and you hold and you drag. Do it again. You show the dots, you go to the fifth, which is the last one, you click on the fifth, you hold, and you drag. Now you hide this, and the default will be this one. That one, if you go to another layout and you come back, this is a one. Now, if you say, you know, let's say you here, you go to another layout, you come back, that would be the one. But you can say, yeah, but I want addresses. Okay, push. Okay, you go to the addresses and you put this one the first. So if you go and you go back, boom, addresses will be the default, right? So let's put like it was. That the one, the one, the one, the one, the one, right? So now I'm back on the first. I like the first because, you know, generally I put that what I want to, when you land on the layout, you want to see this, but you can do whatever you want, right? Any questions?
I don't get the panel 5. Oh, I got it now. Default can be 5.
Yeah, the 5 is all closed. They're all closed. You know, when you click on the header that is the one you show, if you click on this, it closes it. Let's say I'm going to address. This is the one open now. If I click on the header on this, if I click here, it closes it. I can go to another, but if I click on this, close it. It's cleaner instead of having nothing happening, you know? Because here, FileMaker, they decided not to do that. If you click here, nothing happened. It doesn't close all. But you see, you click, you can see this is not normal. He wants to do something. He wants to do something. You can see he wants, the button is activated. The icon wants to go. She wants to go, but they don't let it because because they messed up this. It should be closed, but they didn't want to do it. See, you can see something is wrong here. Why I'm allowed to close is because by default, Xcode say this type of object need to be closed, but they forced not to do it. That's it. But you can see it's not clean, because I can click, right? I prefer to do it right, and when you click, you close it, right? So this object is cool. Those objects are cool because they look different, right? So, right. And there's many other objects I'm going to show you. And I'm going to show you how to build them. Because most of the time, sometimes you can build your own object, but you don't build the right way. And then it's a nightmare. So next week I'm going to show you when you want to build something like this, right? When you want to build something like this, and let's say you have 20 buttons like this. You know what I mean? You have a button bar with 20 buttons like this, right? This is a mistake. Button bar never be built, never be meant to handle something like this. There's other ways, right, than to build this. There's many other ways, right? So next week, we're going to build other objects, and then we're going to start using them to organize the layout. And I'm going to show you how to organize the layout, right?
That'll be really
Yeah.
interesting. It's really clever that you're not going to the 5th panel, but the panel labeled panel 5, so it survives rearranging the panel order. I didn't know that rearrange panel by dragging the dots.
Yeah, you can rearrange. So in that case, doesn't matter. Here, you can have problems. Don't do that here. Or if you do, you need to rename the panels. Because if you change the order here, this will mess up. This, the get target panel. Because you say go to layout, you say go to object tab 2, but you moved it from the order of the tab, and now is on tab 3, for example. Well, doesn't match well. You understand? So if you move an object here, if you say, for example, this object now is not tab 1 anymore, it's tab 2, well, you need to go to the object tree and rename those and rename the buttons as well. If you move the button, let's say if you do something like this, this becomes tab 1, okay? And you move this and you say this is becoming the tab 1. Well, you cannot keep that way. you know, what you need to do, because now the button 2 is the one dragging, the one managing the tab 2, but they are in position 1. So the trigger will say, when you go there, the trigger will return 1 here, not 2. So the button that will be activated, but I'll show you. If I go this, boom, this button here is now activated when I click here. See? So what you need to do is easy, right? You rename this one X, because I cannot rename it 1 because I already have 1 here. And I can rename this one 2 because I already have 1, 2. So you rename this one X, you name this one 2, and you rename this one 1. And you do the same for the slide. You rename this X, you put 2, and you put 1. Fixed. That's all what you need to do. But of course, now you need to say, yeah, but this one go to the tab 1 and this one go to the tab 2. So you need to do that in order to keep the thing going. Now it's okay, right? So you can rename this tab 1 and rename it tab 2, right? Right? Poof, 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 poof. So you can do that. You can reshuffle with a minimum of effort. And that the beauty, and that is easy to do because you'd use this naming convention with the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, because if you go to object with a proper name, this is a freaking nightmare. Here is not the same thing. I don't care. You can move around. Doesn't care. I mean, for the default, right? Because obviously, if you want to reshuffle, if you want to do this, well, you cannot just do this. You have to, I mean, you have to do that on all of them, right? And then the numbers is off, so so you need to reorganize. But for the default, yeah, you can put whatever default you want on putting the first. That's okay, right? But you understand why um, I'm using this naming convention here with the 111, because now I have this object. Well, I can copy this object, go to a new layout, right? Right? Paste it, and it's ready to go. I can put whatever I want. I can rename those, but the object's there. You understand? And if you, for example, if you have free object, okay, just remove this, right? Just remove this. Just remove this, right? Remove that tab and go there and remove this. Well, that's it. You know, you re you did it that now you have only free object. That's all. See? If you want to add one, but it's easy, you make bigger, you add a button on each other, boom, right? If I want to add a fourth one, right? So I'm going there on number 3, I'm adding 1, right? I'm making this bigger, I duplicate this, new tab, right? This goes to slide 4, and that's it. And you duplicate this, right? You spread it, that's it. It's not complicated. Yeah, that's tough to do, but it is worth it because at the end you have a nice object where you can organize your stuff. And of course, nothing prevents you to do something like this. Why, right? So you can have an object here, right? like this, and you can have some field here and other field here, right? So now you have multiple objects. So I have an accordion with this inside, right? So you can mix, right? So there's no limits there after that, where you can mix whatever you want. So all of those objects, now you understand why you can't just stick with this crap, right? So you understand you cannot just rely on this if you want to have a great design, a great layout. You can't just rely on this. This is the basic, right? If you want to do something like this, well, this looks much more modern and behaves the right way. We have a question. If not, we can land the enterprise or
Yes, we do have some.
dogs the enterprise because we never land.
Yes, unless something has gone terribly, terribly wrong. Um,
Yes.
can you use another name instead of tab 1, for example, invoices?
Yeah, but you will enter trouble. You enter trouble because if you want to repurpose those objects, well, you need to change all the names. With my system, you keep tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. It works. You have nothing to change. Just you change the title. Why you want to change the name of the objects? You don't need. And when you have a lot of objects, it's a nightmare to know. Here I know that this is inside this, right? So why you want to put invoice and contact? Why you want to put proper names? You know, and it won't work because you won't be able to use that system. So you need to say which one is activate, with the name. It's a nightmare. I was doing that at the beginning. I get away. First, because it was much more complicated to type, right? And uh, if you misspell whatever, it doesn't work. And if you want to repurpose your object, well, you need to repurpose all the names, and I don't repurpose. I most of the time I keep the dot one, and I
Oh,
wouldn't do that, but you can do it. Up to you.
Uh, can slide control be shrunk when not in use and expanded when needed?
No, we can't. We can't do that. We can't shrink an object and show it when we need it. Unfortunately, we cannot do that. I wish we could, but we cannot.
Yeah, but just people saying this is, I'm so doing this will be great on my iPad up, a much cleaner design.
Oh
Thank you
yeah,
for this
of
one,
course, of
very
course,
usable.
of course. On iPad that looks perfect because on iPad, on iPhone on an iPhone, for example, this will be on the bottom, right? If you go to the music app on your phone, you will see you have on the bottom, you know, you have on the bottom the controls, right? The bar, the buttons, they're on the bottom. See? So let me get the um the the screenshots. Hold on. Where's the photos? Where's my photo app? I have so many apps. So let me put the send on the airdrop. Okay, received. Oh, hold on. Where's the download stuff? Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. Date added. Ooh, I have so many crap here. So this is how it looks like. So they're on the bottom. See? So you can, with my design, you can build this very easily. It's the same of this with a different style, right? Right? So it's easy to do that on an iPhone, iPad, whatever. Actually, I came with this design for this, you know. So you understand at the bottom here, right?
Yes.
Mm.
So, we got a question about the accordion. Can you put the
Yes,
accordion in a pop-up?
of course, yes. In a popover, right?
Yes, I think that's what they were saying. Yeah.
So you have a popover like this object inside here, boom. And you can put this also in a popover, no problem. The only thing you cannot do, right? The only thing you can do, I mean, not easily, is duplicating. Why? Because since we cannot have two objects with the same name, it's a copy, 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 right? So when that happens, this is what I'm doing. I'll show you. So I duplicate the object and I land with this, right? So what I say this, A1, A2, A.2, right? And A A.3. So that's why the object tree is cool because you can rename it like this, right? It's easy to rename, right? And then you need to go there and change this, A1, A2, A3, right? And then you have your duplication because we cannot have the same object twice, right? So I use A, B, C, D like this. A1, A2, B, B1, B2. If I have 2, 3 accordion, right? And of course, you can put accordion within one panel of an accordion. You can do that also, but that would be a little bit awkward, right? But you can do whatever you want. But if you copy this and you go to another, uh, you know, you go to another, that works because it's the unique name, so it works. So see, if I copy paste, that works on another layer. No, it's cool. It's very cool. Other questions?
Uh, can you change the label to invoice without changing the associated go-to object name since you aren't parsing the label name into the parameter?
Yeah, of course, that's what I'm saying. You can repurpose those without changing the name of the object, you know. I mean, this object, the slide that belonged to general info. Okay, the slide is slide one, but the button said whatever. But I'm going to slide one. I'm not saying general info here, and I'm not naming this the slide. I don't name general info. You know, I don't do that. It is not good. I keep slide 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the button shows whatever I want.
Cool. I think that's pretty much it for questions, Nick. You've answered a
Okay.
lot today. A lot of people are really excited about this one. A lot of people saying they can't wait for next week. So,
Yeah, next week I'm going to show Portals. I'm going to show you know this many buttons, vertical buttons. You know when you have like 10, 15, you know, or uh, um, button bars like this. It's a freaking nightmare. There's another way to do that. You know, and I'm going to show you this how to make it simpler and extremely flexible, right? And then the next week we're going to manage layout, build layout, organize buttons, organize portal with data, with things like I think I will import like the contacts starter solution, right? To have some fields, and then we can organize the contact layout, and I'm you know with these new ways, right? And so and then I will have another series about the design. You know, I will have another 4 weeks or more about organizational architecture, stuff like that, list views, you know, and how to manipulate data, manipulation, object, card style, you know, all those things.
Yes, which will be awesome. I think we're looking forward to that. Thank you everyone
Yeah.
for coming. And Nick, I look forward to seeing you next Monday for the
Okay.
adventures
Yeah.
that
Next Monday.
you
Yeah.
talked about.
Yeah. So I'm going to send you this
Okay,
file.
cool. I will share
Then,
that tomorrow then.
yeah, then people they will have something during the weekend to do something.
Yes. All right. Thank you everyone for coming. Y'all have a lovely one, and I will see you all later.
Okay. Bye bye.
Bye.